I've watched thousands of traders burn through prop firm accounts like they're playing Russian roulette. They pay $99, over-leverage, blow up in 3 days, and do it all over again. They've spent $8,000, $10,000, sometimes more, jumping from one prop firm to another and never once gotten funded. Meanwhile, I'm sitting here watching them ignore the simplest strategy that would get them funded in 30 days or less. I'm Michael Huddleston, ICT, the Inner Circle Trader, and today I'm going to tell you exactly how to pass your prop firm challenge without gambling your way through it. But first, let me ask you something. Why would you want to increase the likelihood of burning everything down just to have one quick run? So you can say, I got a step 2 real fast. Congratulations, you gambled. Well done. There are plenty of people who go to Vegas and make money. That doesn't mean they were skilled. It means they got lucky. And luck runs out. You want everything you're doing in this industry, in this pursuit of excellence in trading, to be focused on one thing, being excellent. You want to be good at what you're doing, not just showing up at the right time and getting lucky. You don't want happenstance. You don't want coincidence to be the common denominator in your success. But if you're being honest with yourself, that's exactly what you're asking for when you over-leverage just trying to get through step 1 as fast as possible. I've watched my own son do this. I've watched him push and push and push, trying to get through it real fast. And you know what happened? It took him longer. He sped up the intensity, added more fever to everything, but he was still doing everything backwards because panic had set in. I sat with him and reminded him that there's no reason to feel that way. None. Think about it. You're going to pay a monthly fee to whatever prop firm company you're using. So why not give yourself the full month? Does that make you a bad trader? Does it make you less of a trader than someone else? Who cares how long it takes other people to do it and what they think it should take you to do it? Here's what I want you to understand. When you get funded and you start making money and getting those profit splits, whatever percentage they are you going to listen to that same person who told you how fast you should pass the challenge when it comes to spending your payout? No. So why are you listening to them about how you should trade, what time frame you should use, or what model you should follow? All these things are distractions. They're all ways to keep your eye off what you're actually trying to do, which is find consistency. Stop burning down accounts. Focus on doing what you're supposed to do, not trying to rush it, not trying to add 20 funded accounts at once. Let's just start with one. Let's start with trading one contract and giving yourself time. I know what some of you are thinking right now. Wait, Michael, hold on. You said one contract? But they're asking for $400 a month. Come on, man. I can't get rich on that. Plus, they're taking a portion of the profit split on top of that. It's not worth it. If that's what you're thinking, then you don't understand the game yet. You have to turn the odds around and place them in your favor. Most prop firm challenges give you a $3,000 drawdown with one contract. That's a lot of wiggle room. That's very forgiving, and making $400 over the course of a month with one contract is easy. You don't know that because you're trading with larger leverage every time you try these combines. You're trying to get through it real quick. You probably told yourself, all right, I'll break all the rules to get through step 1. I'll trade with 5 contracts, 8 contracts, just to accelerate my way through. But when I get to step 2, I'm going to be a good boy. I'm going to trade with no more than 2 contracts because it would be silly for me to lose a funded account by over-leveraging. But you're not using that same logic going through the first part. Silly, isn't it? This is really no different than what people do with their live accounts before they even send money to the broker. They say, I'm going to follow all the rules, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. Then as soon as the account opens and they take their first losing trade, all that goes out the window. The casino never closes. Let me push it. What's the most contracts I can trade? All logic disappears when you're using real money, which is why I tell you that you have to be bored with the results in demo for 6 months. If you just do it for a month, you're not really desensitized. You're not conditioned. You're not initiated. You just dabbled. That's equivalent to anybody else who starts in Forex or trading uses a demo account for a week and thinks, wow, I could have made money like that. Let me just put $5,000 or $10,000 into an account. I'm probably going to make money. It doesn't work like that, does it? Suddenly there's a scorecard with a dollar sign right in front of it. Everything changes. Let me tell you what happens when you don't follow this simple approach. You don't want to do all the wrong things multiple times over the course of a month and realize that none of the things you did panned out. None of them resulted in getting funded. That's frustrating. That's demoralizing. That's expensive. Here's the right way to do it. Trade with one contract. I don't care who you see live streaming and making money. You don't know if they're resetting accounts constantly. You don't know if they're really trading with a funded account or just a practice account with the logo covered up. Let me give you an example from my own household. My son took trades thinking he was in his combine account, and it turned out he was in a practice account that he didn't even ask for. He had done a reset early on, and when he logged back in, it apparently defaulted to a practice account. He was working with that account, made a little bit of progress, and then came to realize none of that was even going towards the combine. You can imagine he was a little torqued up about that. I did everything I could not to laugh, but it is what it is. You're going to do silly stuff. Sometimes, in the past, I've pressed buy when I wanted to sell. You're going to get disoriented. You're going to make mistakes. But imagine doing work, thinking you've gained ground, and it wasn't even your live account. It was a demo. I think he's learning that all the things he's trying to do aren't going to work. And I'm hoping that eventually he'll get hammered enough to finally say, that's it. I can't do it this way. I'm only going to do what you said. And when he does, I know that will yield what he needs to build back, improve, and repair what he's done to himself. Then he can replace it with positive reinforcement. All that little bit of pain he's experienced will be just enough to remind him not to do it again. Just a little bit of scar tissue. That's healthy. But when you constantly keep going back to the same destructive patterns, you're not learning. You're just hemorrhaging money. I have students who came to me after trying other people's ways of trading. They've spent $8,000, $10,000 on all these funded account companies, hopping from one to the next, paying all these fees, and never once got to a point where they could be funded. So what's the point? You should have just taken that money and put it in a live account, because you basically did the same thing. If you're not going to follow the rules, you're just flushing money away anyway. But see, you're tricked. You're thinking, it's only $99 or $150. I can take this trade and over-leverage it. What happens if it works? I'm only really risking the challenge fee. That's what you're thinking, right? And you are hooked like it's crack cocaine. I might not win, but I could. It's like the lottery. People line up to play when the jackpot hits $400 million. I was going into 7-Eleven the other day, and a lady came out and said, "Don't worry, I got the winning ticket right here." I'm thinking, okay, I didn't ask, I'm just here to get milk. The mindset is this. You know the chances of winning the lottery are next to zero. The odds are so far against you that you're essentially not winning. But people still pay to play because the idea is, yeah, the odds are against me, but it only costs me $1. Here's the thing. Nobody's getting rich on that $1 lottery ticket. And these prop firm companies aren't getting rich off your measly $99 or $150 fee either. But they are getting rich from the masses who keep doing the same thing over and over. Just like the lottery administration, it's in their advantage to give you the freedom and rope to hang yourself. But they didn't kick the chair out from underneath you, so they're not the bad guy in the story. Think of it like this. They laid a single round of ammunition on a table in front of you. They laid an empty handgun on the table. They made Russian roulette available for you to play. But you decided to pick the bullet up. You placed it in the chamber. You spun it and put it to your head. Whose fault is it when you pull the trigger? What consequence and result comes after you push that over-leveraged trade? Who's going to have the responsibility when that trigger is pulled? Not them. Their hands are clean, they're getting paid, and they don't care if you go away because there's going to be someone else who jumps into your spot. Someone else who says, I'm tapped out, I can't afford to pay anymore, and another person steps right in. That same mentality of, I might not win, but if I do, I can get through step one faster. Do you really think that's somehow going to change your level of discipline and personal responsibility? You think you're suddenly going to follow the rules? You won't, because now you're thinking, well, I just took 10 contracts and made $1,500 on 3 handles in what seemed like seconds. Let me just do that every day with my funded account. That's not the model. That's not sustainable. That's gambling. You're going to make every excuse to do the wrong things. It's like a married man who catches the eye of another woman he knows he shouldn't talk to. He knows where she works. He starts making excuses. Honey, we need bread. No, I got bread today. All right, well, I'm going to go get some soda. What do you need soda for? I don't know. I'm thirsty. You're doing anything you can to get yourself into a position where you can over-leverage and play Russian roulette. That's human nature. That's a character flaw. You're inviting chaos. You're asking for it. In this case, you're buying it. You're paying for it. And while prop firms may make all these things available to you, if you don't do the right thing by using less leverage, you're giving them the opportunity to see you fail quickly and easily. They know the majority of traders are going to over-leverage. They know you want to get to the part that makes money as fast as possible, and they have a 90% likelihood that you're never getting there. Even if you get lucky and manage one payout, your greed is going to tap you on the shoulder and say, okay, I need to make more. I need to go quicker this time. All they have to do is sit back and let circumstances be what they are. Recklessness and chaos show up naturally. And for those who are getting lucky with it for a period of time, ego is going to be that friend that leads you to ruin. I'm always going to be able to make money now. Look at me. Unfortunately, that kind of mindset leads to destruction every single time. So don't invite it. Don't make it about spectacle. Don't make it about over-the-top results or Olympic-sized feats or the speed at which you get to stage 2. Take your time. Relax. Just relax. Here's what's possible when you do it right. One day, any day like today, anybody who uses what I'm teaching could get funded to stage 2 in a single day with one contract. That's not impossible. It could have been done today with the moves we saw. But you're looking at a move like that and thinking, if I had 5 contracts here and 5 contracts there and 5 contracts over there, yeah, it could have been like that for you. But do you have that experience yet? Probably not. So don't have your expectations so high and lofty that it's easy for you to fall and feel like you can't do it. Let me break down the actual strategy that works. Step 1. Trade with one contract only, no exceptions. I don't care if you see an amazing setup. I don't care if you're absolutely certain this one's going to work. One contract. That's it. This removes the temptation to over-leverage and gives you the maximum amount of time to work with. Step 2. Give yourself the full 30 days. Don't try to pass in a week. Don't compete with people on Twitter who claim they passed in 3 days. You're paying for the month anyway. Use it. This removes the psychological pressure that causes you to take low-quality setups just to make something happen. Step 3. Focus on your best setup only. You don't need to trade every single day. You don't need to catch every move. You need to catch 1 or 2 high-quality setups per week with your model. That's it. If you can make $100 per week with one contract, you've passed the challenge in a month. It's that simple. Step 4. Treat the challenge like it's already your funded account. Don't tell yourself you'll follow the rules later when it matters. Follow them now, because if you can't follow rules when the stakes are low, you definitely won't follow them when the stakes are high. The habits you build during the challenge are the habits you'll carry into your funded account. Step 5. Journal everything. Every trade, every emotion, every thought process. This isn't busy work. This is how you identify patterns in your behavior that lead to success or failure. You're not just trying to pass a challenge. You're building a professional trading framework that will sustain you for years. Here's what happens when you follow this approach. You take the pressure off yourself. You're not scrambling. You're not forcing trades. You're not checking your account every 5 minutes, wondering if you're going to make it. You're just executing your model, one trade at a time with proper risk management. And you know what? Most of the time, you'll find that you pass the challenge with time to spare. Because when you remove the desperation, when you remove the need to make it happen fast, you start making better decisions. You start seeing the market clearly instead of through the lens of fear and greed. I've seen students do this both ways. The ones who rush, who over-leverage, who try to be heroes, they burn through challenge after challenge. They spend thousands of dollars and have nothing to show for it except frustration and a damaged relationship with trading. The ones who slow down, who follow the simple approach, who trade with one contract and give themselves time, they get funded. And not only do they get funded, but they keep their funded accounts because they built the right habits from the beginning. Which trader do you want to be? The Prop Firm Challenge isn't designed to be a sprint. It's designed to filter out gamblers and identify traders who have discipline, consistency, and proper risk management. When you over-leverage and try to pass quickly, you're literally telling them, I'm a gambler, and they're happy to take your money month after month. But when you trade with one contract, follow your rules, and give yourself time, you're telling them, I'm a professional, I have discipline, I can manage risk. And that's exactly the type of trader they want to fund. Here's the uncomfortable truth. The reason most traders don't follow this approach isn't because it doesn't work. It's because it's boring. It doesn't give you the dopamine hit of a massive win. It doesn't give you a story to brag about on social media. It doesn't make you feel like a trading genius. It just works. Quietly, consistently, boringly. And boring is exactly what you need. Boring means you're not taking unnecessary risks. Boring means you're not emotional. Boring means you're executing a proven process that compounds over time. The traders who get rich in this business aren't the exciting ones. They're the boring ones who show up every day and execute their model without drama. Let me address one more objection I hear constantly. But Michael, if I only trade one contract, it's going to take forever to make real money even after I'm funded. First of all, you're not funded yet, so let's focus on that. Second, you're wrong. Once you're funded and you've proven you can trade with discipline, you scale up. But you scale up gradually, not recklessly. You go from one contract to two, then maybe to 3 or 4. But you do it based on your account size and your proven track record, not based on greed. The traders who blow up funded accounts are the ones who immediately jump to the maximum contract size because they want to maximize their profits. They forget that the same discipline that got them funded is the discipline required to keep them funded. Remember this, prop firms are not your enemy. They're actually on your side. They make more money when you're successful and getting payouts than they do from your challenge fees. But they're also running a business, and they can't fund everyone, so they've created a filter. And that filter is simple. Can you follow rules, manage risk, and be consistent? If you can do those 3 things, you'll get funded. If you can't, you won't. It's not personal, it's just business. So here's your action plan starting today. Reset your approach. If you've been over-leveraging and burning through challenges, stop right now. Acknowledge that the approach isn't working and commit to something different. Choose one model, one setup, one time frame. Stop trying to trade every ICT concept at once. Pick the one that resonates most with you and master it during your challenge. Set up your challenge with the mindset that you have 30 days to demonstrate consistency. Not to get rich, not to impress anyone, just to show that you can execute a simple trading model with discipline. Trade with one contract, no matter what. Even if you see the setup of the century, one contract. Journal every single day, why you traded it, how you felt before and after, what you learned. This is how you build self-awareness and improve. If you follow this approach, I promise you'll have a completely different experience with prop firm challenges. You'll stop seeing them as obstacles and start seeing them as opportunities to prove your discipline. You'll stop burning money and start building a foundation for a real trading career. The easy way to pass your prop firm challenge isn't a secret strategy or a special indicator. It's discipline. It's patience. It's trading with one contract and giving yourself time to execute properly. That's it. That's the secret. But most of you won't do it. you'll watch this video, nod your head, and then go right back to over-leveraging because you can't resist the temptation. You'll convince yourself that you're different, that you can handle more risk, that you need to move faster, and you'll fail. Again, the question is, are you going to be like everyone else, or are you going to be the disciplined trader who actually makes it? The choice is yours. The strategy is simple. The execution requires character. Now get back to your charts and do it right this time.